Playing the event queue for the last however many weeks that it was in DBD made me forget how stressful killer is in the current state in normal queue. Because in that game mode, like even if I lost, it didn't matter because I could be like, oh, well, it's a bludgeon, it can get filled up fast. And then I go, you know, we're finally back to normal queue and it is just brutal, dude. This is gonna be a complete rant video, how I do these. I have no scripts, I do bullet points, and I just talk until I can't talk anymore. And in no particular order are these like why I'm most mad, what makes it so much more frustrating than this other one. It's all just like how I have it bullet pointed, and I might skip around. But it's just going back in a normal queue. I just want to talk about medkits, man. The medkit resurgence will make it. I mean, it is just brutal how fast the heal speeds are right now. And I know, you know, diminishing returns, this, that, and the other. I get it, right? But medkits, if you bring 3 or 4 medkits and you're not a top 6 killer in this game, or just, you know, a killer that in general might counter medkits itself, it is so brutal. I am a houndmaster main. I don't know if I put this on my main channel or my houndmaster channel at this point. Maybe houndmaster. So maybe this will be better because I've been playing so much houndmaster, and obviously I main her. This will just go on the houndmaster channel because, you know, this is where most of the gameplay frustration is coming from. The houndmaster POV, if you will. Consistent medkit builds, not only just builds, even if they just run medkits in general, and then you throw on resurgence, it's just heal speeds at the moment. It just feels so brutal to play, man. It's like if I load into a game or into the lobby and I see 3 medkits, I am already like getting myself like, oh man, this is gonna be a stressful game. And like I don't know. I have anxiety. I don't really get like killer anxiety that people say that they get. It's just frustrating and how stressful it is. Like, I guess if stress makes you anxious, then, you know, killer anxiety, I guess I understand that. It's not like I'm trying to say that that's not a thing, right? I just don't feel that. I just feel like the stress from playing, and like every game I'm like having to lean into my monitor, into my mic just to try to get a 4K. And it seems like every game I play ends at 1 gen or I lose. Like there's no like, and I don't think every game should be a pub stop. I should say that. Also, all these points might be finished within 10 words, and then I'll just keep ranting about something that loosely pertains to it. It's how these videos usually go. But it is just so brutal, dude. Like how often you are just getting reset and reset. Like everybody's figured out how to play like comp corner, reset, go. Like I get it. Like IQ of survivors are gonna go up throughout the game, right? And I don't want to just play noobs or whatever, but it's so frustrating to constantly play against medkits, and then medkit builds on top of that. And as a houndmaster, it seems like you're just never ending hitting people. It is just so brutal to play. And like I said, if I load into a game and I see 3 medkits, it is beyond stressful. And I think for that particular, I'm gonna bring Franklin's, and I know there's no charges taken off of it. I don't care anymore. I might just bring it just to piss them off, dude. But it is so tough to play against multiple medkits at the moment as houndmaster. Next is just gen speeds, man. It feels like not running corrupt is just ridiculous if you're not an S tier killer. And I feel like a lot of these are going to come back to, you know, oh, well, if you're an S tier killer, you probably don't feel these as much as people that aren't playing, you know, the top 5 or 10 killers in the game. And I'm by no means saying houndmaster is bad. Houndmaster is a very good killer and would be probably, in my opinion, in the top 10 if she was like perfect and there was no bugs and quirks and kinks that she goes through because of her AI power with Snug, and that's with sendouts and the chase power, right? It's just brutal to, like, by the time I get a survivor down, I'm losing a gen just like that. Like, it doesn't even matter. I had a game today, and this is kind of why it's on my mind right now. I was in the game I brought corrupt, and I think I was in the game for like minute and a half, 2 minutes. It wasn't even a long chase. I mean, it might not even been 2 full minutes, and 2 gens pop, bang, bang. Like, it's so brutal, and that's with corrupt. They didn't just spawn on gens, and that is like what's so tough about it. Is like, no matter what I bring, it's just like coming back and hitting me in the face because I'm not, you know, some ultra traverse or an elite killer, right? And it just feels like it is so tough to play. And that's the things, like, well, I first start off this video with medkit and gen builds. That's like, there's only so many things you can do as survivor, and it just feels like the game is just, you lose so many gens so fast, and then like, if in 3 minutes you lose 2 gens, the pressure's on you, and that's where the stress comes from. And then if you're constantly like, if you in theory need to go back to hook, and well, resurgence is there. Oh, well, medkit's there. And it's like and I get it, builds are supposed to counter the killer, right? Like, I'm not ridiculous. I don't think it's like, oh, I should have a 95% kill rate or win rate, whatever. It's just the gens are so fast. And obviously, fast track getting buffed did not help that. YouTubers, YouTube survivor mains, whatever, making ridiculous gen speed build videos don't help that, but killers do it at the same time. But it's just brutal, dude. It seems like the gen speeds are just getting faster and faster, and yeah, fast track's getting nerfed, but I don't understand why. I mean, it's not as good as it was, but if you're in a 3-man and all 3 people bring it, it's still pretty good, right? So gen speeds are just brutal to deal with, and you know what, I'm gonna segue into this. I had a different bullet point, but spawn logic at the moment sometimes makes sense, and sometimes it is so unbelievably bad. And there's nothing worse as a killer than whenever you spawn in the middle of the map, dude, because you truly at that point don't know where they're gonna be. And so if you don't find a survivor and down that survivor quick, you will lose a gen or two pretty much immediately. And like, I like the spawn logic idea of everybody starts together. You might lose a gen early if they all get on it. If they're smart, they spread out. But whenever there's certain maps that you can spawn in the middle of, that is so, like, whenever you load into a game and you're in the middle of, I don't know, let's just say Red Forest, immediately you feel the stress, dude. You feel the stress right off rip. And all these things, like when you're playing an event queue, you don't think about, you're just like throw on music or whatever and play the event and just get as much blood points as possible. And then once you get back into regular queue, I immediately felt like, oh my God, like I'm having to sweat every single game just to try to win. And do I want to win? Yes. Like, I understand I have to try hard to win, but like, I just kind of want to play sometimes and not have to sweat my balls off just to try to get a 3K. And it is so tough, dude. The spawn logic has been so stressful, and it just doesn't really make much sense. And I forgot about how bad the spawn logic was, because in event queue, I was just, going to pumps and just, brain off, play houndmaster, whatever. And then you get back to the normal queue and it is beyond brutal, dude. I don't have much to add to this, but sprint burst just feels terrible to face at the moment as what, you know what? I'm actually going to scratch that. It's not sprint, the pre-running, dude. And that makes the most sense, especially if you know what killer you're going against. If you pre-run, it makes sense, but the pre-running is so tough right now. And I guess, like, because I've been playing the Bloodmoon for, 3 weeks, a month, or whatever, you weren't really getting pre-ran all the time. Everybody was trying to finish, put as much blood into the blood gen as possible. And it is just, I feel like everything ends in, it's just brutal, but it's just brutal, dude. The pre-run, the sprint burst, not to mention the fact of that little bug where, like, if they sprint off of a gen, there's like some frames that are missed and you don't know which way they're actually going. And as a houndmaster man that has, quote unquote, a projectile, it's not really, but kind of is. I can miss my second send out of snug if they end up doing that little weird, it's not a glitch, but like, bug that they like glitch off of the gen or like stutter off the gen, and I can't really tell which way they're going. It's so tough to deal with right now. So while I was playing, I got some pretty bad maps, man. The maps right now are so dog water, and it feels like it's just constant. And the thing about the bad maps and bad map rotations, and yeah, if you get more maps than others, you're gonna feel it more, but it's more of an issue of how bad the maps are in DBD. But consistently getting the worst maps in the game is what's so hard to deal with. If there's what is there, 40 something maps or 30 something maps and 4 of them were bad, fine. But when you get the same 4 every 6 games, it's brutal to play, dude. And then like if you get Batum, oh great start, right? And then you spawn in the middle of Batum, good luck, dude. That's all I have to say. The map rotation is so brutal. I wrote down what I went into. So as a houndmaster man, I was just grinding BP off camera, whatever, just playing. I think it was late at night, and I went from swamp into Red Forest, into Batum, into Larry's, into the game. And the problem with that is, if they were good maps, I wouldn't care, but they're horrible maps. Like if 2 of the 4 or 2 of the 5 were bad, okay, not every map can be great, especially in a 1v4 symmetrical game, right? Or 4v1. But dude, swamp into Red Forest, into Batum, into Larry's, into the game as houndmaster, I was so defeated. I think after my game or the game match, I was like, dude, I'm done. Like I can't, the map rotation is so brutal. And when you're playing the Bloodmoon event, I don't even know if all of them were enabled or not, but playing the Bloodmoon event made me forget because I didn't care. I just had my brain off, dude. And then you get snapped back into reality or whatever. And you're like, holy crap, this is so stressful. Like I understand why people are playing, like I played Survivor for a while during the Bloodmoon event. And I understand why, and I only pretty much went against Blights and Demogorgons. And I'm not sure why I faced so many Demogorgons and it wasn't the same one, but out of like, I want to say 6 or 7, whatever, 6 or 7 games, I played like 4 Blights and I played 3 Blights and like 4 demos or 4 Blights and 3 demos. I can't quite remember, but I understand why people feel the need to play the best killers, because if you don't, the killer role is so stressful right now, and that inadvertently makes survivors hate against going against killers and always complaining or whatever. And I don't want to make it a us versus them argument, but like, I'm not surprised that people want to play the strongest killers because of how much hand holding that the survivor role has gotten, that it feels harder to play the game in a more casual level, if you will, because you're just getting steamrolled all the time. And I'm not a bad player. Do I think I'm a good player? Like I'm a fine player. Like if I had a rate, I'd probably give myself like a 6.5 out of 10, like a fair player. But the game right now just feels more of a chore, dude. Like I'm still having fun, right? It's just like there's so much sweat involved. Like if I wanted to sweat this much, I'll just go play Counter-Strike, dude. Like it is so tough right now playing this game with the maps, the spawn logic, the pre-running and the weird bug with that, which it's not the biggest deal, but it does bug me a lot. The survivor hand-holding, they're getting loadouts that you're able to see your teammates load out in whenever the next update goes live, maybe this coming week, maybe next week, I don't know. But survivors are getting all these things, but what are killer getting? Well, I'll tell you what we're getting. Pallet density. I don't have much to add to pallet density, but it is, you can just feel it so hard. And this nerfs, the S tiers, doesn't really mess with Nurse, no. Doesn't mess with Blight. Now it will once his PTB changes go live and he goes 4.4 with the token refresh if he kicks a pallet or break a pallet, any kind, special or normal. But for people that don't have S tier powers, this is brutal, dude. Like when I was on the game, and yes, I have snug, I can send over pallets, right? But there's certain scenarios you just have to force the pallet kick. And I was constantly getting put in scenarios where I was forced to just kick the pallet, not try to outgame it, because there's so many god pallets on the game. And I know there was only so many hit with pallet density, and pallet density got buffed and then nerfed and then reworked or whatever. But it is so tough of how many pallets are in the game. If there's one thing I would want to be addressed, it is the pallet density. Either fix how tiles work, and not all maps are bad, right? It's just the maps like Badham. Why did Badham get pallet density? It is so unbelievably tough, dude. And I know there's so many more examples, but, or Ormond, dude, I remember I was playing one game, and I've talked about this in different videos, but I was playing an Ormond game, and I literally, how it was lined up was Shaq was in the corner, right? Which I'm pretty sure every Ormond iteration is. Shaq was in the corner, okay? And then, this was Resort. This wasn't Houndmaster's map. Anyway, it was corner into a double long rock loop with a middle pallet into a jungle gym with a window and another pallet. And the window was facing the shack. And dude, it was an unbelievable setup. That was quite a while ago, but that one just sticks to my brain every time because the pallet density is just, and not everyone's bad, but even there's some double pallets that, they're real bad. But if both pallets get thrown, you have to kick one of them depending on what killer you are. Like as a Houndmaster man, I could in theory play it, but then it'll probably just take me longer to actually try to down somebody there or get a grab with snug than it would to actually just break one, and then I'm able to play short side on the other pallet that I don't break, right? So pallet density is just unbelievably brutal, dude. And I forgot about it when I was in the Bloodmoon. I was having a grand old time playing the Bloodmoon, getting 500,000 BP per game, and then I get back to the normal queue. I'm like, holy hell, this is brutal to play right now, man. And that's really all I got. To be honest, it's stressful. stressful. I mean, what's funny, and I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what's funny is the changes they make to the survivor role to be better is inadvertently hurting the survivors, because all they face is the best killers, because killers want to play to win, and the only way they feel like they can win after survivors are getting all these different buffs and killers not much is to play the best killers. So it's like a never-ending circle of life. It's just like an evolution of buff survivor, killer gets nothing, killers start playing better killers, killer players start playing better killers, survivors complain, survivor gets buffed, and then it's just a constant cycle of this. It's just a constant cycle. And I think the big thing, pallet density sucks balls. Gen speeds just seem so fast right now, man. It seems like if I'm not running like a 3-gen, like if I'm not running like DMS, pop, turn back the clock, or pain res, pop, freaking oppression, pop, eruption, like if I'm not like tripling or doubling for gen speed, I am getting down to the wire and have to almost play perfectly to try to win games. And it's so brutal to play right now. And I think it's just because the Bloodmoon event was so long, which, by the way, real quick tangent, let's put this aside. They didn't extend the Bloodmoon event, but 2v8 is coming out in however long, and like a week, like we could have just went right back into it, right? You know, rolled over into 2v8. No, didn't extend it, but I will promise you, oh my gosh, 2v8's been extended again. And so we have 15-minute normal queues again. Normal queue is brutal right now. It is beyond stressful. And because of the Bloodmoon event, I think I forgot the current state of killer and how brutal it is to play. But let me know down below. What do you think? That was a whole lot of positivity from Jay. I mean, dude, that was it's been tough, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've been streaming twitch.tv/JDubTheDad. Link in the description, or Kick, or TikTok. I even stream on YouTube as well. So you can find me anywhere, man. And it's just been so tough, dude. Like, I feel like I've had to absolutely lock in just to compete with these builds. And that's, you know what? There it is. And I've seen videos on it, but after saying it, we're not playing players anymore. We're playing perks. I know it's been reiterated throughout the community. I feel like over the last like month or maybe 3 weeks, I don't remember. I've seen a lot about it. That is where it's tough, man. I want to be interacting with survivors, and instead it's just, you know, it's resurgence, it's fast track with a gen build, it's everything. We'll make it with resurgence plus a med kit plus wiglift plus finesse. You know, like there's so many just feel bad perks to go against for killer, and we're just playing against perks right now. We're not playing against survivors. But that's it. I promise I'm done with the negativity. Leave a like, I would really appreciate it, and let me know down below, what do you think? Do you have killer anxiety? Like, do you have anxiety to try to pick a killer and actually play? Is it just stressful, or do you think I'm just being a big old baby? Let me know down below. Link in the description for Twitch, YouTube, Kick, TikTok, all of it, and I will see you on the next one. All right, deuces.